I know. Oh, I know that I'm always spouting off. This video, it's going to be short and sweet, right? And then it winds up being 20, 30 minutes long. But I promise you, I'm pretty sure this one really is going to be short and sweet. We're doing ABX Mephisto solo. Now, the potential to score the most is going to be a Moonstone Mephisto combo. Mephisto swapping out. And it's like an every 30-second swap. But I'll talk a little more about that. I'm not going to play that run. I did run both. I'll show you a screenshot of what I scored with the Moonstone Mephisto combo run. But I feel like it's going to be important to see exactly how to play Mephisto, because with the swapping, a lot of times you're swapping right when you're in the middle of the rotation, and you're not getting a real good picture of what's going on. This way I played the solo run. This way you can get an idea of exactly what's going on, exactly how to play them. And mind you, I haven't had that much time to actually play him. Today's the first day that I took him in, and I took him in for a handful of runs, but I feel like I have a pretty good grasp on him at this point. Possibly moving forward, tweaks might be made, but all right, here we go. I'm gonna show you his build. I'm gonna show you his stats, and then we're gonna jump into it. All right, so here, his stats here. Okay, so he's not capped on crit rate or crit damage. He does get a crit rate buff, and he's 6% away. I'll be tweaking my cards at some point in the future. I'm not too worried about it right now, but potentially that could be capped if you have higher crit damage on cards. I do have his fourth gear option rolled to crit rate, because the thing is this: he only gets a 10%. Where is it? No, it's on his fourth skill. He gets a 10% crit rate buff, which is kind of funky. Usually it's a lot more, right? Like if we go to, I don't know, let's say another native tier 3 like Sentry, on his fourth he gets a 50% crit rate buff, right? So where these numbers come in, it seems very arbitrary, but that's just what it is. So you do need to have his crit rate within 10%, right? Within 65%, in order to get that soft cap on it. But other than that, everything else is capped here. And he has a fully awakened ISO 8 set, and he has 20 Odin's Blessings. Now, ultimately, I do have a Brilliant for this guy that will wind up on him, but I feel, I put the Mighty on him for testing purposes, because I do have another one. So this one has 16% all attack. And then I have another one that has the type amplification. Neither of these have the max stats, like 16 and 30. They're actually on par with each other, because you can get 40 on the type amplification, and then you can get 20 on the all attack. And I feel like more people will be able to relate if I have a Mighty on them than if I put a Brilliant on them, right? So this way you can get a better idea there. Now I do have 22% Pierce on cards. So let me go to my cards. I'm still yet to I think I have a lot of cards to rank up here, but I have a lot of mythic cards saved up. I think I'm almost at 50, so I'll be doing those rolls soon. Yeah. It's funny, I rolled this one like a couple times, and I got the same exact roll, but 4 quality. That's very strange. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to roll this card. The Gardens of the Galaxy card, that one's better, but I tried rolling that thing so many times, and this one's going to be easier. As long as I just land 7 quality, I can live without it, these other stats down here. But in any case, also, some people were asking for Iron Man ABX. So I recorded a run with Iron Man, but what I'm going to do is I'll play it after, and I'm only going to play the first minute of this Iron Man run. Okay, so to finish talking about him, so he has 78,340 energy attack. Part of that's coming from the 16% that he's getting from this judgment here. And okay, one other quick mention for dispatch here. If you're looking for a team to auto, depending on how built your account is, this team here has done it the fastest for me. And I tried a bunch of different combinations. Of course, there's many more combinations to try, but so far this team, with White Fox lead, has done it the fastest for me. So That's something to mention. All right, before I pull up the run, it'll probably be wise to just talk about his skills, real quick, instead of assuming that you know what's going on. All right, so his 1 through 5, he basically has only 4 skills, right? He's like a destroyer, because his 3rd skill, you only hit it 1 time. You hit it 1 time to change from the basic to the giant mode, the fiend mode to the giant mode, and what that does is it changes all your skills, right? Most notably and most importantly, the way his accumulation works. It goes from basically Jean Grey's accumulation to accumulation based on damage dealt. And pretty much all his skills are cancelable, except you really don't want to cancel 4. But let me show you what's going on here. And 4 has a buff. Has a 50% all attack, all defense, 10% speed, and crit rate on his 4. So let's go in here, and I'll kind of walk you through what's going on here. All right, so yeah, you basically you hit 3, you cancel 3 right away. And actually in the run, because I just looked, I messed up a little bit, and on the initial rotation, I didn't do what you should do, which is 3. Now you can go 5-2 or 2-5. So, and then as soon as he disappears there, that's when you can cancel. And then 5 is basically like an immediate cancel, and then into 4. So it's gonna look like, here, let me hit 3, let me go back. So it's basically going to look like you can go 3, 2, when he disappears, 5, and then into 4. And then once you see that last fire, like he kind of swipes some fire there, right about there. Right there when he does that circle of fire, that's basically when you want to go into other skills. So let's do that again. So it'll be here, let me reset this. Let me go back in, and here we go. All right, so you can go 3, 2, disappears, 5, and then into 4. Boom, once you see that swipe, you go 1, and then you can go 2, and then your 5 is basically just going to be off cooldown, and then you can cancel tier 3 right away, and then go into 4, and then I like to go into 2, wait a second till he disappears, and then you go into 1. And then that's basically it. So let's rock out with this run here. I got it right here, so let's just play that track. All right. Boom. So you'll see it. Initially, I mess up. I go 3, 5, 4, and then 2, but you want to get the 2 in before the 4, pretty much. This ended up being one of the better runs, so I just let it rock. And then 5, 2, because you want to use that 2. You need to use that 2 to get the tier 3 up. And you're kind of sprinkling 1 and 2 in there, but there's a system. There's a way to do it. Okay, and I want you to pay attention to the tier 3. So okay, so 5, tier 3, 4. Cancel right away. As soon as you do that swipe, then you go into 2 and then into 1. Now, I'm going to pause it. So basically what you want, he kind of reminds me a lot of Loki, because you want the end of his tier 3 to reactivate the proc, right? That seems to be where, the difference between, a decent run and then, a much better run is going to lie. And then you want to, once the proc's reactivated, then that's when, you go back into 5 and then into 4. So you'll see 5, 4, yeah. All right, 2, 1. So we kind of have an early proc here. And that's going to happen sometimes. Sometimes it'll get away from you. But I feel like it's okay because his damage is so spread out. His tier 3 is just so long. And plus, we have the roar to deal with anyways. And the cancel, it happens basically right away on it. So 5, tier 3, 4, when he swipes the fire, into 2, and then into 1. And then you want that, the proc to reactivate at the end of his tier 3. Like I said, you're never hitting you're not touching the 3 skill ever. It lasts for the whole run. You don't got to worry about it. And then, boom. See, you're kind of reactivating it. It's like at the very end. So you got the fire swipe, and then I hit 2. It's kind of close here, but like I said, the cancels, it's like immediate on his 2. So, you know, you have a little room to breathe on. It's not like Apocalypse on his tier 3 where it only happens like at the very end, which is pretty annoying. So 1, 2, boom, reactivate the proc there. So I feel like it kind of came a little late there, but essentially that's what you want. So let's see if there's a good demonstration here. So yeah, even hitting the tier 3 when there's like 4 seconds on the proc is not a bad idea, because so right here, essentially, you know, if you can go into the iframe, you would want to carry, you know, that over into the 5, into the 4 again. And then boom, 5 tier 3, immediate cancel in the 4. You got the swipe into the 2, into the 1. And then, yeah, kind of reactivating that at the very end there. But yeah, that tier 3 animation is crazy long. And what do I hit in this run? I think 9.34. I ended up with Mephisto solo. My high was 9.36, which I feel like is not too bad for him solo. Now, you know, I could play like a Moonstone solo run in here. I'll just tell you what I typically score with her. It's about 9 million, maybe a little over 9 million. So this is a massive increase. I mean, you know, we all know how much like a 300,000 point after 7 million. It's a lot. It's a lot. So this increase, you know, from Moonstone, yeah, it's major. But the best outcome to get the most amount of points is going to be a Moonstone Mephisto combo. In here, I'll show you what I scored with. So this was Mephisto Moonstone combo here, and this was only after a few runs. I feel like I'm not all that great with Mephisto for ABX. To be honest, I really don't like playing her for ABX at all. But it's definitely a lot less painful now that you could just swap her in and out. So it's basically every 30 seconds, like right at the start, and you're using Green Goblin lead, Mephisto. Right at the start, you go, you know, you hit her Awaken rotation along with the co-op button, and then you immediately swap to Mephisto. Did I say Mephisto? No, Moonstone. Moonstone right at the start. Hit her Awaken rotation along with the co-op button. Swap to Mephisto, and then you're going to every 30 seconds you're going to swap Moonstone in. You know, just basically when that Awaken skill is up, and that's pretty much it. And obviously you want Mephisto there for the cancel, especially, you know, for this season here. And yeah, that's basically going to be for every season, obviously, you know, except Silence. You know, some things could swap, you know, change up there, because I don't think he has Silence, does he? I honestly didn't check. Does he have it on his tier 3? Yeah, he does. So he actually has all 3. He has all 3, which is absolutely amazing. All right, now I'm gonna play just the first minute of this Iron Man run, because some people were asking for it. All right, let me show you what this guy's working with. Okay, so he doesn't have like an amazing build, right? Nothing even close to Mephisto. He has 8 Odin's Blessings, and you know, he's not finished yet. I just really haven't had the time. And he has a stage 8 Power of Angry Hulk, and he has an energy. Now, I feel like if he had a rage, he would definitely be able to do much better, because trying to keep the proc where you want it is very difficult with him trying to use that tier 3 on every other rotation. It's very difficult, so I had to try to get funky with it. But he's really not close, at least with this build and with this energy. Now, if I gave him the same treatment as Moonstone and Mephisto and put a rage on him, he could do much better. I'm sure of it. Even just putting the rage on him, he would do a lot better. So let me just pull this up, and we'll play the first minute here, just so you guys can see what's going on. And by the way, so for some reason, the buff, you need to do 5, 3, 4 to pass the buff to 4. The buff is on 5, it's really strange. Like, typically you'd want to use the skill with the buff right before the skill with the proc, but I don't know. It just, that's the way that it's working out with them. Very strange. So yeah, he's definitely tough to play with the proc. He just is. Like I said, especially getting that tier 3 up on every other rotation here. And they as soon as you see like the blast starting, that's when you can go into other skills. And with the rage, you'd want to go into like the 4. His rotation looks similar with the rage, similar but different. Okay. And yeah, so about 2 million for the first minute. I'm not gonna play any more there. 2 million for the first minute. Like I said, I can't see. I mean, if you're like a newer account and you want to use him for like your tier 3 selector, he can do okay for you. But yeah, I wouldn't try to lean on him for any ABX stuff. But who knows? Maybe I'll test him out with a rage in the future and see. Maybe he could do a bit better. But that's pretty much it, guys. That is pretty much it. You know what? I feel like I just realized that I didn't show you my card stats. So for energy attack, I have 141.8 energy attack, and I have 22% pierce there. All right, so I'm gonna end it there, guys. So I feel like this is kind of short and sweet. Should be like less than 15 minutes. I feel like we'll find out when I'm editing. So and up next I have I'm gonna be doing this guy up next. I know a lot of people are asking about him, and I'm hearing he's strong. I'm hearing he's really strong. So we're gonna give him some treatment here, some nice treatment, and maybe a mighty judgment. I don't know. We'll find out. So I'll see you in the next one, guys. So you better stay tuned, you stay breezy, but most of all, friend, you stay safe out there. Peace.